Hello, I'm Paul Peterson, and welcome to Aging Well in Los Angeles. Today we're at the beautiful gardens of Santa Monica, and we're going to bring you some really new information about a program that will give you not only security, but peace of mind. And it's all on these little cards. Please stay tuned. We have a special guest today, Leslie Rosenbaum. Leslie, welcome.
Thank you.
You have a new and innovative program that I know will be of interest to our seniors and, more important perhaps, their caregivers. Leslie, what is Code Amber Alert Tag?
Code Amber Alert Tag brings peace of mind, security, and safety to all our loved ones. I became passionate with Code Amber Alert Tag because, unfortunately, my mother took ill. And what it brought was I put all her medical information into the computer so the doctors would have her medications, her primary doctors, her specialists, and right at hand knew how to treat her.
And knew how to contact you and your sister, right?
Correct.
Right. And, you know, you think about this for a second. Accidents can happen at any time. You don't know where you're going to fall ill. And just some of the questions of interest. Are you diabetic? Do you know your blood type? Are you allergic to medications? I mean, you have some wonderful questions on the website, and people can go right to the website and see if this might be useful.
Yeah, not only will they could go to the website, they can print it out. It's worldwide, and it crosses all boundaries. It's if you have a caregiver that doesn't speak English, she could take it to a doctor's office and just give the doctor the card, and they could pull it up, print out all her information, and put it in her chart.
Right. Well, you know, in this world of HIPAA regulations,
It's HIPAA compliant.
It is HIPAA compliant. That's important.
It's HIPAA compliant because on the back of this is the
Here, I'll hold it up for people.
Okay. On the back of it, it has a code and
Yes.
it has a key code. And the key code makes it HIPAA compliant because you are allowing them your medical information.
Right, I understand. Now, I'm thinking this was born out of the terrible, crushing reality of caring for an elderly parent.
Correct.
And this is a good thing. This is making lemonade out of lemons.
Yes.
Because so many of us have had these issues. Whether maybe a parent wanders off too much,
Yes.
Or has taken ill in the supermarket. They've always been independent. You never thought about it. So how did you put this together? You must have sat down endless nights.
How did I put it together? I tried to protect my mother as best that I can. Could have. I come from a medical background. I saw MS patients being pulled over by the police and asked to walk a straight line, and they couldn't.
Of course not.
Or they would slur their words, and they were taken into jail. Had they had the Code Amber Alert Tag, where it was either in their wallet or on their keychain, they could have said in their slurred speech, I have a medical issue going on here. It's not a drug issue.
Right,
I'm
it's
not
not
under the influence.
Right, it's like the appearances can be deceiving, especially in the elderly population. And you know, I've shared this story many times on Aging Well in LA. It only has to happen to you one time. You know, like as the Life Alert bracelet.
Right.
You're not there, you're 30 minutes away. My God, what do you do?
The Life Alert bracelet I have found from speaking with patients and again going back to my mother, that almost announces that they have
Right.
A medical issue. a lot of people don't want to call it to their attention.
Of course, we were sharing earlier
Yes.
that
And
there's
this
a lot
is
of
discreet.
Yes, it is. But you carry it on your person. I want to make sure you understand. You have this credit card size thing here, and the two
The
key chains. I love those. I never have to fumble for a card. It's like,
Right.
here are my keys. And this is how I
And
got here.
I myself go to the gym, so I put it when I'm at the gym on a necklace.
No, it's
Because
good.
if anything happens to me at the gym, I don't want the paramedics called if they
Right.
don't have to be.
Yeah, especially when you, as you
Right.
told me, you just need a glass of orange
Water,
juice.
exactly. And I'm an RH negative type, so I've always carried that.
Mm-hmm.
My parents lived in the Orient for 20 years, and I have found out that most Asian people, 97%, are positive blood. So I registered with the American Embassy there.
Oh, well, wow.
This gives the elderly the independence to travel
Mm-hmm.
if they want to go on the cruise with a caregiver.
Mm-hmm.
All they have to do is take their card.
Okay.
And-
We have to take a break right now, but when we
Okay.
come back, we're going to talk about the security features of this new and innovative program, Code Amber Alert Tag. So please stay tuned to Aging Well in LA.
Hello, I'm Dr. Scott Kaiser, board-certified family physician specializing in geriatric medicine, and welcome back to The Empowered Patient. We're with our friends again at the Hollywood Multipurpose Senior Center, and I'm going to speak with my friend Marion today about exercise. How you doing today, Marion?
Just great, but I need improvement.
Oh, really?
Yes, I have to start doing more exercising. I've been very negligent on it.
Oh, is that right?
Yes.
What's been keeping you from getting going on your exercise?
Well, I started off years ago and smoked for 40 years, and that did not do me any good. And then I had a lung collapse as a result along the way. And I've come to a point that I realize I must be exercising. I've done sporadic.
Right, so a common story. You had a setback, you had a major setback, and now here you are, you realize though that exercise is still important and you need to continue exercising.
Yes.
So now have you made an exercise plan?
Oh, yes, I have.
And then we have a wonderful booklet available from the National Institute of Aging, and I know you've been working with this booklet here, Exercise and Physical Activity.
I've filled out every square.
Great, so we have the worksheets in the back of the booklet. I'm just going to turn to those. We have the weekly exercise and physical activity plan, a activity log, a goal-setting worksheet. So you're filling these out.
I filled it all out.
And then before you know it, you're going to be back and going stronger than
I have a
ever.
resolve that I am going to do it all. I'm going to be walking the steps more than I have been, and I'll be doing the other exercises. And I'm looking forward to doing it and getting my air back in better shape and dancing again.
All right. Getting dancing again. I like that. So you had a setback and then you got some information and you thought about the importance of exercise. You got a resource, you developed a plan, and now it's time to just keep executing your plan.
That's what I intend
And
to
before
do.
you know it, we'll be dancing again.
Good.
All right.
I'm staying active every day. I'm taking charge of my health.
And I'm here with a very special guest, Mariko Van Kampen. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
So tell me, you're here at this brand new wellness center and staying active. I know you're already very active. So tell me about physical activity, exercise.
Well, I'm a very lazy person.
Okay.
I grew up in Hawaii, and my girlfriends were out surfing, and I was a beach bunny.
All right.
So, you know, it's a challenge for me to make myself exercise, but I have been much more conscientious about it over the last 3 years because I just know that I need to. And I go to a couple of classes that I'm very religious about. I have to be or else I won't go. And I take a belly dancing class. It's belly funk, so it's kind of
All right.
mild aerobics, belly dancing, and core strengthening.
So
and
before you
and
go on
stretch,
there,
yes.
that's great. I think that already you're hitting such an important point. that, you know, a lot of us, if we don't have a plan, specific plan, and some kind of accountability, and for you it's going to classes.
Yes.
For some people it's having an exercise buddy. For some people it's having a routine, a certain time of the day where they have it scheduled in their day, just like an important meeting or a family event.
Yes.
And, you know, so you said, look, I'm honest with myself, I'm naturally a little on the lazy side. You like lazing around on the beach as opposed to being out there with the surfers. But you realize physical activity is really important, and so you have this plan. So you were telling us, okay, so you do a belly funk class?
Yes, and it's followed by a gentle stretch, which is basically a beginning yoga class. And it's for me, it's the perfect combination. And I go twice a week, could be more, but my partner, my exercise partner, is my dog.
Oh.
So I do religiously walk my dog. Unfortunately, he's getting old, so he's slowing down a bit.
Oh,
but
no.
that keeps me with at least with a very, with some daily minimal activity.
So that way you get something, because you're walking the dog, you're going to the classes. And then I understand that within this context, this booklet has helped you kind of track that level of activity.
I looked through it recently in preparation to.
So we have
for
this booklet, Exercise and Physical Activity.
And I was very interested to note in going through all the, the individual exercises that pretty much all of them, I would say 98% of them, are covered in one way or another in the 2 classes that I go to. And that was very reassuring, because I have great trust in my teachers. They're both fantastic. But it was nice to have an outside perspective and be able to look at this and say, oh yeah, I'm doing this, and I'm doing this, and I'm doing this. And the one thing that I haven't done specifically, that's not specifically addressed in the 2 classes that I'm going to, is weights.
Okay.
And I know for women of a certain age, osteoporosis becomes a factor. So that's something now I'm going to try to actually add into my weekly schedule, because one of my teachers does have a weight class. And so, you know, it's been a wonderful touchstone for me.
Right, so that way you get a balance of the endurance, the weight, the resistance, all these stretch, right? So you get with the belly and the yoga, you get the stretch, endurance, all in one thing. But then you add little activities here and there. You add the walking the dog, and now you want to add specifically some weight training.
Yes, because
for
I
strengthening
know
exercises.
that that's really important.
Right, of course, that's important. Pretty much everybody could benefit from that. And so it's interesting that you've been able to use this booklet, first of all, to see, it was reassuring that you see these photos of exercises in there and you say, hey, I'm doing that. So even somebody already says, oh, I'm doing all this stuff, could benefit from kind of double checking.
Yes.
Yeah. You mentioned something else really interesting. You said that you trust your exercise instructor very much.
Yes.
How long have you been working with them?
Well, the stretch teacher I've actually been with for 8 years, because I had a yoga class in my living room. I didn't organize it.
Wow.
I have a large living room, so it was a neighborhood yoga class. And this woman came in. And then when that finally dissolved after several years, she teaches at the Hollywood Y, and that's somewhere near me, so I followed her, basically.
So that's perfect. So, and there's something about that in this booklet as well, that if you're looking for an instructor or a personal trainer, because that could help in a lot of people's cases, and for a lot of us, I know that if I don't have somebody, an exercise buddy or an exercise instructor, somebody to kind of keep me accountable, make sure that I'm going, I kind of can fall off every once in a while,
and
just
I've
like
been
you were
with her
saying.
for so long that she knows me.
Right.
And she can tailor, even within the class structure, if I'm having a particular problem on a particular day, she can suggest a variation.
So you
in the
trust
routine.
her, and she
Yes.
knows you. And for those of you watching at home, some guidelines from the booklet would be seeing if the person has some kind of certification, asking how long they've been doing what they've been doing, finding out if they've been working with people your age, particularly if you're elderly, particularly frail. Some people have expertise in that area. And again, I mean, I think that's great that you've been doing that and that you're going to be doing more. And it's great to have you where we're talking about what we can do to live longer and live better and full vitality. And Thank you so much. And for those of you watching at home, you can call the number below and order copies of this wonderful booklet. And we'd love to hear from you. Let us know. Give us a ring.
What I'd like you to know, if you're going to adopt an animal from Los Angeles Animal Services, is that companion animal is going to be spayed or neutered before you take her home or him home. We're also will have given the vaccines that are appropriate up to that age. So you'll come with an animal and you'll get a free vet certificate to go for a vet check with one of our local licensed veterinarians to make sure everything is A-OK with your companion animal. So those things are all included. Also for seniors, there are fee reductions for seniors who have income levels that qualify. So there's a number that's rolling across your screen, and that's the number that you call to find out more of the details. We have reduced adoption fees. In some circumstances, you can even get a free dog license. So call us, come on down. We've got love just waiting for you.
So if an emergency happens, are you prepared? Do you know who to call? Do you have a meeting place? An emergency can happen at any time. You need to be ready. A family's a team. So take a few minutes and put a family emergency communications plan together as a team. Check out labt.org for all the info. Just be ready, prepare together. All right, let's go, come on! This ball is not gonna play itself.
It's my job to teach you the safe way to ride a bike. You should always wear a helmet just in case you fall. Ride on the sidewalk. It's safer than the street. Okay, when crossing a driveway, stop your bike and look both ways. Like this? That's good. And obey all traffic laws. Traffic laws? Yep, like stopping at stop signs and walking your bike across the street. Boy, I'm glad you're my big brother. I know.
Ride right. Stop at the light. Watch the road.
Today we're going to talk about planning before a crisis. It's important to understand what plans should take place before a crisis occurs. Things that need to be taken into consideration include cultural or generational differences, beliefs, values, unspoken topics. Decisions need to be made about medical, legal, and family issues. It's important to talk about the wishes of individuals before a crisis occurs, about their care and their medical treatment, not just what the family prefers or what the family thinks the person may want. Then respect those wishes, because those wishes are important to the individual. Remember, people have the right to be in control of the quality of their life, understand the purpose of their treatment. They have the right to dignity and respect, comfort, which is physical, emotional, and spiritual. They may want to laugh or be angry or be sad, all interchangeable at random times, even if it doesn't make sense to others. They also have the right to have the truth. So what are some actions a person needs to take before a crisis? Well, there's advance directives, which are the legal instructions given by individuals specifying what actions should be taken in the event that they are no longer able to make decisions due to illness or incapacity. Advance directive forms can be downloaded from the internet. Some doctors' offices have them. Legal services have them also. Some community-based organizations have them. Once completed, it's a good idea to give your primary physician a copy for their records. Talk to your loved ones while they're in good condition and good health, and then respect their wishes. Make it a point to have your voice heard, even when you can no longer speak for yourself, by using an advance directive. It's important to plan before a crisis.
Welcome back to Aging Well in LA. And Leslie, we were going to talk a little bit about the security features of the Code Amber alert tag. Can you explain some of those security features?
Yes, I can.
Please.
It's 256 encrypted
information, right?
And as far as identity theft, if they find your card, there's nothing that they can do with it other than get your name.
Right,
or your personal, your medical information. The second tier, there's a two-tier to this, where when you go to the website, you could put in, you have your own password, like you would your email or a credit card.
Right.
And you could put in all your personal information. We live in a state that has fires and earthquakes.
Everything you can imagine.
Think of, right.
Right.
And you could scan in all your policies, policy numbers. Only you have access to it.
Okay, so there's not only the individual security code, you have an individual
Real
password.
passcode, right.
Well, I thought one of the most important features is a first responder, God forbid you're in an emergency
Right.
room, can, by scanning this or accessing the website, get the pertinent information to maybe save your life.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a great comfort.
Yes. That's the information that will come up first and only.
Yeah, because so many people, actually it's hard for me to remember what I'm allergic to,
Right.
for example. And I love the idea. Well, here we're gonna show people now the information that is contained, but not limited to just these things,
Right.
with your Code Amber alert tag. This is new, but it's such a good idea. It should have been around for ages.
Right.
How did you move this from the concept and the worries of caring for your mother into a reality? This had to be like a family undertaking or engaged a lot of people.
Well, because there is so much on for children. This is a division of the Code Amber abduction of children.
Right, of course.
And caring and being passionate about my mother and seeing what goes on in the hospitals and with the elderly, they need a voice.
Boy, do they ever. Now, while we're on the subject, the website, can you give us the website address? Because I really would like our viewers to check this out. And the website is?
www.codeamberalerttag.
Code Amber Alert Tag.
.com/LDR.
Okay, great. Now, we're going to have that up on the screen, so we don't
Okay.
have to repeat it endlessly. And when a person goes to the website, even a casual, even if driven by casual interest, they're going to get some questions that frankly, may be the first time they've addressed them. Do you know who to call in case of an emergency? Do you have your insurance policy number? Who's your medical provider? That stuff is not always at the tip of our tongues.
Right, and you would put that in so that when it's not at the tip of your tongue, no matter who finds it, the first responses have that information because they will ask you, do you have insurance?
Well, of course, yes, they will. For those $1,200 ambulance rides.
And I try to encourage the elderly on patient information, which they're now implicating. Put your pharmacist.
Yes.
Because their medications change all the time.
Yes, and they may be taking several medications.
They usually
yes.
are taking several
Yes.
medications. And you want to make sure they interact with one another. And who better knows this than your pharmacist?
Exactly. Now, you can print this information out once you've put it into the forms, correct?
Absolutely. You could print it out. You could hand it out. I think it will one day replace the patient information form that we all have to fill out at doctors' offices.
Wouldn't that be a wonder? You know,
Yes.
it's funny, having twice now in the last few months visited emergency rooms, it would be a boon not to have to keep filling these
All
things
you
out.
have to do is show them this card.
Yeah.
They pull it up. Boom. They have all your information.
And Code Amber Alert Tag. It's important that you get that down because you can access the website. And is this a day-to-day thing with you now, Leslie?
This is a day-to-day.
Is it taken over your life?
It's taken over my life, and it's cost-effective.
The cost.
Yes.
I was astonished when you told me the number. Listen to this number.
It's $19.95 plus tax for a year.
A year.
A year.
Not per month. A year.
And it makes a great present. I had my insurance agent buy them as thank you presents. He sent me a Visa card and said, have lunch on me, and I had so much problem with it that he has since found out this makes a great present, and it lasts for a year. The renewal last for a year. If they mention that they saw the show, Aging in Los Angeles,
Right.
their reward will be, we will give them an extra month to
well,
that 1995.
See, there are rewards to being a viewer of Aging Well in L.A. Leslie, thank you so much. Well,
You're very welcome.
I know it's still painful, the loss
Yes.
of Mom. There's nothing worse. But you've done something positive in her memory.
Yes.
I wish you great luck with this.
Thank
I'm
you.
going to sign up today.
Good. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Leslie.
You're
And
welcome.
thank you for being with us here on Aging Well in Los Angeles. We'll see you next time.